of meetings of the Health Economics Value and Assessment Workgroup of the OHDSI community. We are we were formed about a month ago. Actually, it was restarted after a hiatus of about 5 years. In 2017, 2018, I led this work group in a different way. We did some work with OMOP CDM, and then we developed some software, but then it took a break. And now we coming back with full force, and we wanted to achieve some milestones before the symposium. So we worked, so a small group of us came together and said, we're going to work very hard on this and tackle some important problems. Health economics and outcomes research is a community that wants to be involved with OHDSI, but unfortunately has received the amount of support they need to do the science that they can do. So we have taken the effort of rejuvenating and collecting all the work that was done in 2017, 2018 in terms of data standardization, ETL conventions, Themis standards, vocabulary standardization, international data standardization across the multiple nations. And then also today we're going to tackle the third main pillar, which is the standardized software. So as you know, OHDSI's tenets are standardized representation, standardized methods, and standardized software. So it's a principled approach that the OHDSI community has, and we're following that. So today's conversation is about the OHDSI software. So we have an alpha release of a standardized software package that is conditional on the CDM 5.5 being approved, which we are in conversations with the CDM work group, and the Themis ETL conventions being approved, which is we are in conversation with the Themis work group. But the HEVA work group, Health Economics Value and Assessment, has provided their feedback, and those has been incorporated. So and those are documented on the OHDSI forums. So today is the focus on the software. But before we go into the software, I see more new faces. Would anybody be interested to introduce yourself? Hey, Grace.
Very happy to. Thank you for letting me join. Only found out about OHDSI a week ago, so thrilled, and taken some time to do some research in this area. So I'm just so grateful to be allowed to be even at the corner of the table. Thank you.
Oh, you're right in front and center. No corners in OHDSI. Everybody is equal. Welcome to the community.
And I'll introduce myself. So my name is Saba. I'm currently a co-op with Johnson & Johnson and a PhD student. So I think I have a lot to learn from everyone here. I'm interested in health economics research, and so when I saw that you're doing a walkthrough of the software today, I was like, oh, let me just hop on and try to learn something new today. So thank you for having me.
Oh, Saba, excellent. Welcome. I was an employee of Johnson & Johnson for many, many years, 6 years, and I know I probably can even guess which department you're in right now. So welcome, and I think you can bring a lot of value to them by learning with us, and we can get a lot of value from you as you learn from them. So welcome to the community.
Thank you.
Hey there, this is Shishir. I've been taking this for like third round of this meeting, but just wanted to introduce myself. I'm assistant professor of economics at Appalachian State University, and I do healthcare provider labor market research. And somehow I got into OMOP CDM a year ago, and I've been studying like managing sepsis and stuff like that with several clinicians and other people. But at the same time, a lot of hospitals go with a lot of state regulation, and different state operates in different regulations. So I studied that part as well. So somehow I've been fortunate to work with both sides of art. Thank you.
Welcome, Sishir. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to your partnership in the phenotype working group also in the next week. Excellent. All right, Gaurav, let's get ahead with the agenda.
Yeah, so today we're just going to talk about the cost package, the CostUtilization R package that we've been working on. Alex has been diving deep into it, so I'm going to let him take this call over and kind of show you guys what we've been working on. And as much as this might seem like a lecture. We don't want it to be, so this is very collaborative, and hop in whenever you want. Maybe say something in the chat if you don't want to interrupt Alex, but we totally want to hear what everyone has to say. All right.
Yep. Thank you, Gaurav. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You should. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Due to my own luck, I had been honored to be a part of development of this R package, cost utilization. We called it cost utilization. Initially, of course, we double-checked that this name never been used in CRAN to make sure that we are not going to mislead someone. And today I'm excited to introduce the preliminary work what's been done. As Gautam just announced, it is alpha release, which means you could say it works, but it still required like several testing rounds to make sure that all methodological approaches working properly. And of course, please interrupt me in any point, because as Gaurav said, it is more about discussion, less about lecture. And I will be really appreciate if you will add some details or ask questions. Okay, let me start. First of all, we discussed a lot in this group that cost utilization and overall like HEOR are studies have some, let's say, issues and problems in OMOP data, and we aware about this. And I just wanted to highlight here some major like challenges. It is like methodological challenges, semantic ambiguity. Of course, we discussed last time about like charge, cost, payment, and so on. These nuances hard to leverage in 5.4 OMOP convention. Integration gap, of course, because it's been never even considered to use cost, at least in my mind, cost information in methodological analytical packages like patient level prediction, cohort method, also characterization package, what's relatively new package. And we like found the opportunity. It means weakness of OMOP in this case. It is our opportunity to make OMOP better and provide some analytical tools to make it work in a more sufficient way. It means according new convention, Themis convention, what's right now pending, we started developing of HADES-conformant package tool with all the like main best practices what's been accepted in OHDSI community. And once again, cost utilization is another package built the legal standard of the HADES ecosystem. Its main function to take cohort and provide cost utilization analysis based on your settings, what's required in your case, over cohort definition, what's been like its usual like pipeline approach, right? It's building cohort, defining time window when you wanna provide analysis, and do execute analysis. What means in let's say in main points like of of this package, it is you need to have settings. You connect into database, execute SQL queries, as usually does in OMOP. We have SQL under the hood and R wrapper over this SQL and provide the formatting of results in your desired way. And the most interesting and important point what we considering that we wanna standardize output format to usual feature extraction covariate data object to make it eligible to all the methodological packages. Also, it's required to mention that the SQL logic would be built under the hood of this package refers to CDM convention 6.0. It means it is like a kind of new life of this convention, but of course with several tweaks. And of course, as we discussed, it is visit-centric analytical approach. It means all the events, all the cost calculation will be done around visit, never directly to cost table from event table, but via visit. And it supports diverse cost analytical analysis applications. Current status. It's been implemented core package functionality. It means it works from beginning till the end. If you have 5.5 OMOP data, what's not developed for now, but we expect data format in this case. It runs from the beginning till the end, and it's even tested in mock data for main analysis, not including microcosting. And I will describe what's nuances, what's pitfalls in microcosting happen. Testing currently restricted to simulated data. Actually, it is expected problem. From the other hand, it's pretty much standard approach in OHDSI and Darwin packages when we're not relying on any kind of real data. Let's say the strong point of the package that it's for right now it's not depends on any kind of external resources. It means testing process going in data what can be generated on fly, right? It means you can create a local data set and do cost analysis using this data set. Also, of course, as it's been discussed that it's implemented main features of new cost data. It is the cost concept IDs, cost type concept ID, and essential flexibility. Now let me little bit jump off the presentation, actual presentation, and I will walk through package structure. It is pretty much the same as most of OHDSI packages does. I mean, it is several folders with some files. Mostly it is file about the package, namespace, it's imported, exported functions, license, of course, description. It is dependencies of the package. Several folders, R folder with main function, main R, not main, all R files, inst folder for some data, and we can import information from package to current session. Tests, of course, in best practices of development, all lines of code should be covered. at least in HADES convention, it should be no less than 80% of test coverage. Right now, it's about 85, I believe, percent. And of course, vignette, how to use the package. It means if you wish, we can review all the files, all the functions, what's been present here. And also, if you want, you can install the package from development branch. It's not present here, but you can. It means you just need to add the ref, this alpha release branch, to install it as and use as a tool. Okay, if we want to talk about like core functions like of the analytical package, I need to mention about settings function. Actually, initial idea was to have one function for settings and execution, but to make it as much as usual as feature extraction, we decided to have like separate function to make settings with all the available arguments, and function what will be executional function to collect results. It's calculate cost of care, where you need to put your settings from previous function, choose which type of information which type of result you want to get, aggregated or non-aggregated, and just run the function and as a result of execution of the package, you will have like .res, but of course you will never see this. It is as intermediate result of the package execution. This .res object, it is Andromeda object of cost result based on the settings what I just mentioned to you. Aggregate, non-aggregated, it will be or patient level aggregation. I mean, or even not aggregation. It means every patient will have own cost. Let's say for domain or total cost or cost with exact concept set, micro costing, or aggregated. It means it will be per patient per month, per patient per whatever, or just distribution statistics, a median, mean, all the statistics what you usually can see in feature extraction, continuous variables features like age, like other features. I don't remember what else features. Okay, as sorry. Okay, sure. And of course, we mentioned that the results of the package can be a covariate data format. As we discussed, like in future, we wanna incorporate these results into main analytical packages. But these, let's say, semi-raw results, not really matches this format. From the other hand, I understand I'm working with data like pretty much long time, and I can say that feature extraction output is not necessarily the best fit for your purposes. Usually, it is a lot of dancing around with these Andromeda tables, joining, finding proper names, cleaning these names, adding time IDs, and so on and so forth. And this, for me, it is pretty much annoying. Sometimes you just want to have results, right? You not necessarily want to use like million of joins to have output. And for this purpose, we have intermediate result, like raw results. But and you can leverage these results any way you want. You can just download CSV file. You can somehow transform this file to your format, like for example, clean car format or other format what you expect to have. Or you can use this result and put it into file or into method called create cost covariate data. It means this .res object will be going to this function with settings, of course, and it will be converted to our typical and known covariate data object. And you can even call feature extraction function to have this result like ready. And I didn't mention, but at least right now we implemented temporal covariate data object features, right? Because there are standardized covariate data approach like long-term, mid-term, short-term, anytime, and there are temporal covariate settings when you set window around cohort start date or cohort end date. In our case, we're using temporal, and this covariate data has time ref table. It is Andromeda table. And actually, all of this table is Andromeda tables. If you remember, it is Andromeda. It is wrapper over last few years it was SQLite database, and right now from 5.1, as I remember, version of Andromeda, it is DuckDB database to handle relatively big data. Of course, you cannot handle like tons of data, like hundreds of gigabytes, but it handles relatively big tables in a sufficient way in memory computation. To do testing, it's been in our team, we developed our own intermediate step to create from a standard EONOME dataset. We have created usual cost data. It means we just walk through each event tables and randomly created kind of cost for all the events. It is not meaningful cost. Actually, it is just a random assignment, but for testing purposes, it works fine. It means in this stage, we create a cost table, injected into, again, in our case, that DuckDB Eunomia. Also, we started to practice to create with new visit details. It is, as you remember, visit details mainly a table what will contain line level details. That means visit detail will have information about each domain record. It should be pretty much huge table, and we started to develop this approach also inside Eunomia dataset. For now, it's not working properly, but it's still ongoing process. And of course, the next step, it is transformation of old 5.4 cost to 5.5 cost. When we convert this wide format cost table to our desired long format table with all the fields, with all the dependencies, but for now, as I said previously, without visit details proper information. It means visit detail for now, it's nulls. What means we restricted to do sufficient microcosting testing. And it is our known
limitation.
Let's say, our known limitation. And we tested like this point in just in several abstract ways, like just reviewing several times scale code, review approach, and so on and so forth. Okay, design, it's been done. Okay, let me quickly also.
Any questions so far? Like this is obviously a very dense technical presentation, and that's the nature of it, because you are being shown the internal workings of a software. And it also, you've introduced to words that people who have been in this Odyssey world for a decade are speaking. So some of these words are, what is Andromeda? What is covariate data object? This is all, I'm sure, is new to most of us. But when I do the recap, I will ask Gemini or ChatGPT or one of those LLMs to demystify these words so that you can have a index that you can look for, a glossary of terms.
Yeah,
But please.
It's a good point. It's a very good point. Please ask questions if you have right now. And maybe it is a good fit for us if I will show you, let's say, end-to-end like vignette information, and just will like introduce, let's say, how this package should work in your real-life cases, let's say. Okay, looks like for now we don't have questions. All this.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah, please.
Alex, I had a really quick question with regards to the PMPY and PMPM. For those you mentioned, there's a cost table. Is there also an enrollment table that dynamically changes based on the index date and the time period you're looking? I just wanted to understand that a little bit better. If you don't mind just covering that just for another 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, Gowtham, let's go ahead.
Yeah. So there is to calculate the PMPY or PMPM, there's a numerator calculation and a denominator calculation. The denominator is derived from it's a modified version of the cohort table, and as you know, cohort table is constrained by the observation period table. You cannot have a cohort period that is outside the observation period, but we allow for temporal windows in relation to some anchor date of the cohort table. So it's either cohort start date or cohort end date, and then temporal window associated around it, which is then constrained to the observation period. So the denominator is observation period is constrained to the observation period with the anchor of either cohort start date or cohort end date with some time window around it. So if you want 1 year from disease diagnosis, you would say cohort start date plus 365 days. But if the person, say, loses coverage or is lost to follow up or is no longer alive, then they're censored by default. So they do not contribute to the days that they're not in the denominator. So the denominator is calculated dynamically that way, and the numerator is also constrained to the time window in the same way.
Yeah, actually, it is a very good point. I missed this point, and I want to point it out here that a feature extraction package has on my mind has one huge limitation. It never care about observation period. It means you need to think about observation period in a place when you build in your cohort. It means if you have cohort without observation period restriction, and you will use feature extraction to calculate all the events or all the features like 1 year before, it's not necessarily that all patients in your cohort will even have time inside this window. And it means it might create huge bias of your analysis.
Yeah.
And to adjust this limitation, to fix let's say this unexpected nuance, unexpected in feature extraction nuance, we built it's been built this like bunch of code when we explicitly define that we never calculate patient days if it's not an observation period. Actually, that's kind of enrollment, but in OMOP data we are using like observation periods like logic, and it gives us opportunity to be not misled by this observation period, enrollment period limitation.
And one more point to add, Ram. I know you are putting on your actuarial hat. If you're thinking about the plan design or the payer benefit design or who the payer is, the payer plan period table now allows you to build to use its information date ranges to construct the cohort period. So you restrict the cohort to the benefit design that you're interested in, and then the payer plan period is a subset of the observation period. A payer plan period cannot be outside the observation period by definition. So by constraining again to the observation period, we are ensuring that they are not only constrained to the benefit design, but also to the observation period.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Yeah, quickly run through, as I said, this vignette what I created. Means, let's say you have also one small point. Usually, in OHDSI community, it is not very famous package DBI. It is let's say strong dependency for database connector. What database connector? It is package usually used to connect database, and it strongly rely on DBI. But directly DBI, it's called low level package. Means it is more generic, and in our case we aimed to use database connector mostly to make database connection. But due to our limitation of absence of real data, we couldn't like rely on any kind of external sources, and we need to use like encapsulated database in our package. And the best fit for us, it was DuckDB database, but DuckDB never worked with database connector. And make it like working, we using JDBC connection. It is Java language-based connection to database, and let's say we using generic approach. It means even if you have ODBC connection, non-Java, you still can use functionality. It is from one hand, it is like, let's say, not what we expected initially, but from the other hand, it's still working functionality. What it will work in any database approach what you will use. It means typically you when you do any analysis, you have one object. It is connection to your database. In our case, it's ODBC connection again, but it can be JDBC. No limitation with this. Next, you calling function transform cost to 5.5. It is not necessarily required function in case you have real data, but we building this data, creating cohort. Usually cohorts created in Atlas. In our case, I just created cohort, like simple cohort based on visit occurrence table. It means beginning of the cohort, it is visit start date, end of cohort, visit end date, 200 patients, and I have my cohort is in my database. Next, I'm building pretty much simple cohort like settings. I wanna calculate cost, overall cost for all patients from cohort start date plus 1 to 1 year. It means period from 0 to 1 year, and calculate all cost. Pretty much simple. Next, I'm just passing all the arguments in our main function, calculate cost of care. Verbose if you like to read meaningful information from execution. And as a result, you will have such kind of function. In our case, we used aggregated true. It is by default. And here, some metrics. Of course, it's not meaningful. It is just mock information, but you can like evaluate. It's cut, of course. You can evaluate that person days. Actually, this information might be useful to total person months, total person days, total, and all the cost settings what we just used. Yeah, kind of we can restrict our restricted result. We restricted to only visits like inpatient and emergency visit.
That's the hand raise, Alex.
Sorry?
Alex, quick question. So I'm not able to install this package. Is this like that, or it's not up yet?
Yeah,
So you have to use the branch. Right now, if you follow the instructions as documented, you have to point to a branch. Right now, it's trying to install directly from the main branch, which only has license and README. You have to switch the branch. And the way you do that inside the remotes function is remotes install GitHub. And then after the quotation marks of cost utilization, before the end of the parentheses, you have to put a comma and put a REF equals to alpha release.
REF equal to alpha release. All right, got it. Thank you so much.
And that's what the reason why it's not there is just because it's too much to maintain documentation for every small change.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, let me quickly continue with my presentation. As we discussed, it is visit-based approach. It means we are relying on visit occurrence table mostly, or if we want a line level visit, we are going to rely on visit details table. Also, we can calculate metrics, different types of metrics, depends on requirements. Okay, visit level details, of course. Once again, that it's we can use visit level details on the level of concept of visit concept ID, right? It means it's all kind of visits. As we discussed, that some visits is not real visit, but we still will calculate it because it is present in database and it's still countable event. Or we can rely only on exact visits like inpatient visit, emergency visits, or only outpatient, whatever. In case of microcosting, we are going to do additional step. And if you are going to review the SQL query in package, you will see that in this case, we rely on user put specification, what exactly user wants to have. It means user, in one scenario, user might want a domain level, like drugs. User might want domain level plus concept IDs. And actually, it's two main scenarios for microcosting. But once again, due to our limitations, for now we don't have good enough testing of this feature, but I hope it's coming soon.
It's a question.
Alex, so sorry, I would raise my hand. I just don't have the ability to do it in my teams. Really quick question. Are you guys also looking at unit cost? So the reason I asked that question is when you're looking at PMPM increases or just cost increases across the board, it can be driven by utilization. It can be driven by unit cost. So I was just wondering, are you also looking at unit cost metrics in your available metrics for people to use?
Can you give an example, Ram, of the unit cost?
Sure. So let's say hyperbaric chambers that's used for treating diabetes. It can be that it's more available, meaning it's being prescribed more as a procedure, or it could be it's more of an expensive procedure. So that's an example where the cost of the procedure goes up, it contributes to the PMPM, or the cost of the procedure remains constant where there's no change, but the PMPM is going up because there's overutilization of it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the example.
Got it. Yes. The answer is yes. We will be, for the hyperbaric chamber question, we will be calculating both utilization counts and PMPM. So because we'll have both the metrics, if you trend it, if you see this, the counts to be stable, but the PMPM going up, then that would suggest that the unit cost went up.
Thank you.
As I mentioned before, thank you again for question. As I mentioned before, it's been the package tested now current status of testing.
Sorry, Alex, just one more comment. But Ram, just to follow up on that, that's part of the microcosting world. We are not there yet in terms of the maturity. That is still a roadmap, mainly because we don't have testing data. We don't have real data. So the visit detail table has to be populated to be figure out that this is actually a this is actually a hyperbaric chamber related encounter. Visit occurrence captures the encounter, visit detail captures the line, as you know, and that line level information is what we need for this purpose, and we don't have that yet.
Just an offer, I can at least ask internally if we can work with you guys. We do have Health Verity, Optum, and a few more databases.
Of course, that'll be a great pilot. One of the questions that was asked by the CDM work group is, we love this idea, we want to accelerate it, but can we get some actual users to say this is solving use cases? So we need users.
Yep. Yes, a question. Yeah, please. Sure. Are you wanna ask question?
I'm good, thank you. Sorry, I forgot to.
Okay. Great. It means testing. We still pending process of test coverage, continuous integration, of course, and like we looking for the real world validation of the package. Some challenges what we have right now. What's pretty much obvious, like convention, because at least in my mind, a lot of Themis points, convention, let's say, opinions might be discussable. And even for me, I'm working with this package more than a month, maybe even two. It's still not comfortable for me to handle visit details, to keep in mind how it should work properly, because I used to use 5.4 and it's usual for me. And a lot of like global changes required to make this happen. But it looks like it is future, because it is one of the way to have real robust approach to do HEOR analysis. Again, real data cost is complex. Last time Gowtham gave several examples of cost table or cost data complexity. Okay, and we let's say open to the process of contributing to improve any kind of point of the package, and make it happen, make it the process of real release of the package happen.
Yeah.
Okay, and as a summary.
One quick comment. Shishir, I saw your message about the doubly robust estimator. I responded on chat, but I wanted to say the powerful feature about this package is it allows you to get person-level data. Person-level data that can be filtered to microcosting. Person-level data that can be at their summary level. And you can use this person-level data with any method that uses continuous variable or a transformed version of that continuous variable, either as a feature or an outcome. So you can predict cost, or you can use cost as a covariate. And so it's very powerful. You can use a pretty much infinite amount of valid methods with this package.
Oh, thank you, Gautam. No, I was making comment about the Choi on each package actually. I just looked in his code and it was pretty cool. Yeah, it is not related to the CostUtilization package. But thank you.
Okay.
As a summary, you just saw the alpha version of package. It is compliant with main HADES recommendations. Still in progress, of course, but contribution very desirable. It's good. It's making a better solution in some places in the process of development, and of course looking for validation of this tool on real data. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Good job, Alex. Okay, so this concludes our three series of developing the CDM, developing the ETL conventions, and also doing an early release of the cost package. We set this as a very high bar. Start a work group and get this done before the symposium. And we feel, want to congratulate Gaurav, Alex, the whole group for achieving this milestone. The OHDSI Global Symposium is in a few days. So if you are there in person, let's meet. Let's talk about this work group. I know Alex unfortunately won't be able to join us, but we will get him on Teams and we can talk and have a drink together. Looking forward to seeing you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you all.
See you
Bye.
guys.